The skies above New Tokyo shimmered with an otherworldly light, casting an eerie glow over the sprawling megalopolis. Dr. Akira Tanaka stood on the observation deck of the Orbital Defense Station, her dark eyes fixed on the approaching vessel. It was unlike anything humanity had ever encountered, a massive crystalline structure that seemed to bend the very fabric of space around it. "Status report," Akira demanded, her voice steady despite the tension that gripped her chest. Lieutenant James Chen, the young officer manning the communications array, swallowed hard before responding. "No response to our hails, Doctor. The vessel's maintaining its current trajectory. ETA to Earth's atmosphere, 17 minutes. Akira nodded, her mind racing. Humanity had long prepared for this moment, but now that it was here, she felt woefully unprepared. As the lead xenobiologist for the United Earth government, the weight of first contact rested squarely on her shoulders. "Inform the UAG Council," she ordered, "and patch me through to Admiral Zhao. We need to be ready for any scenario." As James relayed her commands, Akira's gaze drifted to the holographic display showing the alien ship's approach. Its design defied conventional physics, with spiraling tendrils of energy crackling along its surface. Whatever beings created such a marvel of engineering were far beyond humanity's current technological capabilities. The comlink crackled to life, and Admiral Zhao's gruff voice filled the observation deck. "Dr. Tanaka, I hope you have a plan. The global defense grid is armed and ready, but I'd rather not start an interstellar war on our first day on the galactic stage." Akira's lips tightened into a thin line. "Let's hope it doesn't come to that, Admiral. We need to approach this with caution and diplomacy. Have your forces stand down unless directly threatened. I'm initiating first contact protocols now." As she spoke, Akira made her way to the airlock, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. Years of training had prepared her for this moment, but nothing could truly ready one for an encounter with an alien civilization. The alien vessel breached Earth's atmosphere with impossible grace, its crystalline structure refracting sunlight in a dazzling display. It came to rest in the waters of Tokyo Bay, sending massive waves crashing against the shoreline. As the waters settled, a shimmering portal appeared on the ship's surface. Akira and her team, clad in protective suits, approached in a hover shuttle. The world watched with bated breath as humanity took its first steps towards a new era. From the portal emerged a being that defied description. It stood nearly 3 meters tall, its body a swirling mass of bioluminescent tendrils. Where a face should have been, there was only a pulsating orb of energy. Akira stepped forward, her voice amplified by her suit's speakers. "On behalf of humanity and the planet Earth, I welcome you. We come in peace and with open minds, eager to learn and share knowledge." The alien's orb flashed in a complex pattern, and suddenly, a voice resonated in Akira's mind. It was neither male nor female, neither young nor old, but a chorus of thoughts coalescing into coherent speech. "Greetings, children of Earth. We are the Zilithians, travelers of the cosmic seas. Your world calls to us, a beacon of potential in the vast darkness." Akira's scientific mind raced with questions, but she forced herself to focus on the diplomatic task at hand. "We are honored by your presence, Zilithians. May I ask the purpose of your visit to our world?" The alien's tendrils swayed in a hypnotic pattern. "We come seeking alliance and exchange. Your species stands at a crossroads, poised to take your place among the stars. We offer guidance, but also a warning." A chill ran down Akira's spine. "A warning? What do you mean?" The Zilithian's orb pulsed with a deep crimson light. "The universe is vast and filled with wonders, but also dangers beyond your comprehension. There are those who would see your potential snuffed out before it can truly ignite." Akira's mind reeled with the implications. Not only were they not alone in the universe, but there were apparently hostile forces out there as well. How can we prepare? What must we do? The alien's form seemed to ripple, its tendrils extending towards Akira. "That is why we are here." to help you take your first steps into a larger world. But be warned, the path ahead is fraught with peril, and the choices you make will shape not only your destiny, but that of countless other species across the galaxy. As the gravity of the situation settled over her, Akira realized that everything humanity thought it knew about its place in the universe was about to change. The arrival of the Zilithians marked not just first contact, but the beginning of a new chapter in human history. "We are ready to learn," Akira said, her voice filled with determination. "And we are ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead." The Zilithians' orb flashed with approval. "Then let us begin. Time is short, and there is much to prepare for." As Akira and the alien emissary made their way towards the shuttle, she couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. Humanity was about to embark on a journey beyond its wildest dreams, but the road ahead would be far from easy. Little did they know, high above the earth, hidden from even the most advanced human senses, another vessel lurked. Its occupants watched the proceedings with cold calculation, their intentions far less benevolent than those of the Zilithians. The cosmic game had begun, and Earth was now a player on a stage it barely understood. The weeks following first contact were a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the Zilithians had sent shockwaves through human society, appending centuries of scientific, philosophical, and religious beliefs. Dr. Akira Tanaka found herself at the center of it all, serving as the primary liaison between humanity and their alien visitors. Today, she stood in the newly constructed Interspecies Cultural Center, a massive complex built in record time on the outskirts of New Tokyo. The building was a marvel of human and Zilithian engineering, its architecture a blend of Earth's most advanced designs and the aliens' crystalline aesthetic. "Dr. Tanaka," a melodious voice echoed in her mind. She turned to see Zilax, the Zilithian emissary she had first met on that fateful day in Tokyo Bay. Its bioluminescent tendrils swayed gently, the pulsating orb at its center glowing with a soft blue light. "Greetings, Zilax," Akira responded, bowing slightly. She had learned that the Zilithians appreciated the gesture, seeing it as a sign of mutual respect. "Are you ready for today's cultural exchange session?" The alien's orb flashed in what Akira had come to recognize as amusement. "Indeed, though I must admit, your species continues to surprise us. Your capacity for adaptation is remarkable." Akira smiled, though a hint of worry nagged at the back of her mind. While the majority of humanity had embraced the opportunity to learn from the Zilithians, there were those who viewed the aliens with suspicion and fear. Reports of anti-alien protests had been growing, and security around the cultural center had been tightened as a precaution. As they made their way to the main auditorium, Akira couldn't help but marvel at the progress they had made. In just a few short weeks, humans and Zilithians had established rudimentary communication protocols, begun exchanging scientific knowledge, and even started collaborative research projects. The auditorium was packed with scientists, diplomats, and students from around the world. As Akira took her place on the stage, she felt a surge of pride. This was what she had dreamed of her entire life, the opportunity to bridge the gap between worlds. "Welcome, everyone," she began, her voice carrying across the hushed crowd. "Today we have a unique opportunity to delve deeper into Zilithian culture and history. Zilax has agreed to share with us the story of their species' first steps into interstellar travel." As Zilax moved to the center of the stage, its tendrils began to glow with an otherworldly light. Suddenly, the air around them shimmered, and holographic images sprang to life, filling the auditorium with vistas of alien worlds and cosmic wonders. "Behold," Zilax's thoughts resonated through the minds of all present, "the journey of our people across the stars." For the next hour, the audience was transfixed as Zilax wove a tale of scientific discovery, cosmic exploration, and encounters with other alien civilizations. The Zilithians, it seemed, had been traversing the galaxy for millennia, serving as peacekeepers and mentors to younger races. As the presentation drew to a close, Akira noticed a commotion at the back of the auditorium. A group of people had stood up, their faces twisted in anger. Before security could react, one of them rushed towards the stage. "Liars," the man shouted, his eyes wild with fear and hatred. "You're here to conquer us, to steal our resources." Xylax's tendrils recoiled, its orb flashing with a mix of confusion and concern. Akira stepped forward, trying to defuse the situation. "Sir, please calm down. The Zilithians are here as friends, to help us." "Help us," the man sneered. "By giving us technology we don't understand. By changing everything we know about our place in the universe. How do we know they're not preparing us for invasion?" Security personnel finally reached the man, restraining him as he continued to shout accusations. As they led him away, Akira turned to Xylax, her face flushed with embarrassment. "I'm so sorry," she began, but the alien's thoughts interrupted her. "Do not apologize, Dr. Tanaka. We understand the fear of the unknown. It is a common reaction among young species encountering interstellar civilization for the first time." Akira nodded, grateful for the Zilithians' understanding. But as she looked out at the murmuring crowd, she realized that bridging the gap between their species would be more challenging than she had anticipated. Later that evening, Akira sat in her office, reviewing the day's events with Admiral Zao via holographic communication. The Admiral's face was grim as he spoke. "The incident today is just the tip of the iceberg, Doctor. We're seeing increased activity from anti-alien groups worldwide. Some are even calling for the Zilithians to leave Earth immediately." Akira sighed, rubbing her temples. "We can't let fear and misunderstanding derail everything we've worked for. The knowledge they are sharing could advance our civilization by centuries." Joe nodded, but his expression remained troubled. "I agree, but we can't ignore the concerns of our own people. There are questions that need answering. Why did the Zilithians choose Earth? What's this danger they warned us about when they first arrived?" Before Akira could respond, an urgent alert flashed across her screen. Her eyes widened as she read the message. "Admiral," she said, her voice tense, "we may have a bigger problem. Our deep space monitoring stations have detected an unknown object entering the solar system. It's not Zilithian." Jaiva's hologram flickered as he leaned forward. "Are you saying there's another alien ship approaching Earth?" Akira shook her head, her fingers flying across the holographic keyboard as she pulled up more data. "Not a ship, Admiral. Based on these readings, it appears to be some kind of probe, and it's heading straight for us." As the implications of this new development sank in, Akira realized that humanity's crash course in galactic politics was about to intensify. They had warned of dangers beyond their comprehension. Were they about to face their first test? "Contact the representatives immediately," Zhao ordered. "We need to know if they have any information about this probe. And Doctor," he added, his voice grave, "prepare for the possibility that we may be facing a threat beyond anything we've ever encountered." Akira nodded, her mind already racing with possibilities. As she hurried to contact Xylax, she couldn't shake the feeling that this mysterious probe was just the beginning. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, but now they were about to learn that the cosmos was far more complex and dangerous than they could have ever imagined. The atmosphere in the United Earth Government's Crisis Command Center was thick with tension. Dr. Akira Tanaka stood before a massive holographic display, her eyes fixed on the pulsing red dot representing the mysterious probe. It had entered the solar system 3 days ago and was now on a direct course for Earth, its speed far exceeding anything humanity had ever achieved. "What's the latest, Doctor?" Admiral Zhao's voice cut through the hushed murmurs of the assembled officials. Akira took a deep breath before responding. "The probe will reach Earth orbit in approximately 6 hours. We've tried every method of communication we have, but it's not responding to any of our hails." A ripple of unease passed through the room. The UN Secretary-General, Elena Rodriguez, stepped forward. "And what do our allies have to say about this?" As if on cue, the air shimmered and Xylax materialized beside Akira. Several officials flinched, still not accustomed to the Zilithians' method of holographic projection. "Greetings, leaders of Earth," Zil-Ax's thoughts resonated in their minds. "We have analyzed the data on the approaching probe. It bears the signature of a race known to us as the Void Hunters." The name sent a chill through the room. Akira turned to the alien emissary, her brow furrowed. "Void Hunters? You've never mentioned them before." Zil-Ax's tendrils writhed in what Akira had come to recognize as a sign of distress. "We had hoped to spare you this knowledge until your species was more prepared. The Void Hunters are a nomadic race of conquerors. They seek out young civilizations on the brink of interstellar travel and harvest them." The word harvest hung in the air like a death sentence. Admiral Zao was the first to break the shocked silence. "Harvest? What exactly does that mean?" "They strip planets of resources, including sentient life forms," Zil-Ax explained, its mental voice somber. "The Void Hunters see emerging species as a threat to their dominance of the galaxy. They either assimilate or destroy those they encounter." Secretary General Rodriguez's face paled. "Is this the danger you warned us about when you first arrived?" "One of many," Zil-Ax confirmed. "But the Void Hunters are among the most immediate threats to your world." Akira's mind raced. "But why now? We're nowhere near ready for interstellar travel." The alien's orb pulsed with a mix of colors. "Our arrival likely drew their attention. The Void Hunters monitor civilizations from afar. Seeing us make contact with your world would have accelerated their timetable." A heavy silence fell over the room as the implications sank in. Humanity had barely begun to grasp its place in the cosmos, and already they faced an existential threat from beyond the stars. Admiral Zao was the first to snap into action. "We need to prepare our defenses. Dr. Tanaka, work with the Zilithians. See if there's any technology they can share that might help us repel this probe." Akira nodded, her heart pounding. As she and Zil-Ax left the command center, she couldn't help but feel the weight of her responsibility. The fate of humanity might well rest on her ability to bridge the gap between two alien cultures, one friendly, one hostile. In the hours that followed, Earth's defenses were mobilized. Military satellites were repositioned, ground-based weapon systems were brought online, and civilian populations were moved to shelters. But as the probe entered Earth's orbit, it became clear that humanity's most advanced weapons were woefully inadequate. The Void Hunter probe was a massive, obsidian structure that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. As it took up position above the planet, smaller objects began to detach from its surface, scout ships, preparing to descend to the surface. In the Interspecies Cultural Center, now repurposed as a joint human-Zilithian command post, Akira worked feverishly alongside her alien counterparts. They had managed to adapt some Zilithian defensive technology to Earth's systems, but it was a stopgap measure at best. "The scout ships are breaching the atmosphere," Lieutenant Chen's voice crackled over the comms. They're heading for major population centers." Akira watched in horror as the holographic display showed the invasion unfolding. The Void Hunter ships easily evaded Earth's defenses, their technology far beyond anything humanity or even the Zilithians had anticipated. "We need more time," Akira muttered, her fingers flying over the alien interface before her. "If we can just decode their communication protocols, maybe we can." Her words were cut short as the building shook violently. Alarms blared, and emergency lights bathed the room in an eerie red glow. "Dr. Tanaka," Zil-Ax's thoughts pierced through the chaos. "We have received a transmission from our homeworld. The Void Hunters, they're not just attacking Earth. They've launched a full-scale invasion of Zilithia as well." Akira's blood ran cold. The Zilithians, with all their advanced technology, were under attack too. But how? Why? Zil-Ax's tendrils writhed in agitation. "It appears they view our alliance with your species as a threat. They seek to eliminate both our civilizations in one swift strike." As the gravity of the situation sank in, Akira realized that the fate of two worlds now hung in the balance. Humanity and the Zilithians, so recently strangers, now found themselves unlikely allies in a war for survival. "We need to coordinate our efforts," Akira said, her voice steady despite the fear gripping her heart. "If we're both under attack, our only hope is to stand together." Zerlax pulsed with agreement. "Indeed, but to do so, we must overcome the final barriers between our species. Dr. Tanaka, are you prepared to accept a level of connection with us that no human has experienced before?" Akira hesitated for only a moment before nodding. "Whatever it takes. The survival of both our worlds depends on it." As Zil'ax extended its tendrils towards her, Akira braced herself for the unknown. In that moment, as the sounds of battle echoed outside, two vastly different species began to merge their knowledge, their technology, and their very consciousness. The war for Earth and Zilithia had begun, and the first truly unified human-alien resistance was about to be born. The merging of minds between Dr. Akira Tanaka and Zil'ax was unlike anything either species had experienced before. As their consciousness intertwined, a flood of knowledge and understanding flowed between them. Akira gasped as alien concepts and technologies suddenly became clear to her, while Zil'ax's tendrils pulsed with newfound insight into human ingenuity and adaptability. "This is incredible," Akira breathed as the connection stabilized. She could sense the vastness of Zilithian knowledge, centuries of cosmic exploration and scientific advancement now at her fingertips. Indeed, Zil'ax's thoughts resonated within her mind. "Your species' capacity for lateral thinking is truly remarkable. Together, we may yet find a way to repel the Void Hunters." As the human-Zilithian links strengthened, similar connections were being forged around the globe. Scientists, military strategists, and civilian volunteers joined with Zilithian counterparts, creating a network of shared consciousness that spanned two worlds. In orbit, the Void Hunter ships pressed their attack, their energy weapons carving swaths of destruction across Earth's surface. But now, with the combined knowledge of two species, the defenders began to adapt. Akira, her mind now augmented by Zilithian insight, worked furiously to recalibrate Earth's defensive systems. "If we modulate our shield frequencies to match the quantum oscillations of their weapons," she muttered, her fingers flying across holographic interfaces, "we might be able to deflect their attacks." As she spoke, Zilithian crystalline technology merged with human satellite networks, creating a shimmering energy field that enveloped the planet. The next volley of Void Hunter weapons splashed harmlessly against the shield, buying Earth precious time. Meanwhile, in the skies above New Tokyo, a squadron of human fighter pilots, their minds linked with Zilithian navigators, engaged the alien scouts in aerial combat. The human pilots' instinctive maneuvers, combined with Zilithian tactical knowledge, allowed them to outflank the technologically superior enemy ships. "We're actually holding our own," Admiral Zao's voice crackled over the comms, a note of hope in his usually stern tone. But the battle was far from over. As reports came in from Zilithia of devastating attacks on their major cities, it became clear that neither world could survive this onslaught alone. In a bold move, Akira proposed a daring plan. "We need to take the fight to them," she declared, her eyes gleaming with determination. "If we can combine our remaining ships with Zilithian long-range teleportation technology, we might be able to launch a surprise attack on their main fleet." The plan was risky, but with both worlds on the brink of annihilation, there were few alternatives. As the defensive shield around Earth flickered under the relentless Void Hunter assault, a joint task force of human and Zilithian ships prepared for a desperate gambit. Akira found herself aboard the lead vessel, her mind still linked with Zil'ax as they coordinated the attack. As the teleportation sequence initiated, she caught a glimpse of the Void Hunter's massive mothership, a colossal structure of darkness that seemed to devour the very stars around it. "Ready all weapons," she commanded, her voice steady despite the fear coursing through her. "For Earth, for Zilithia, for the future of both our species, attack." In a blinding flash of light, the human Zilithian fleet materialized in the heart of the enemy Almeda. The battle that would decide the fate of two worlds had begun.